name's Matthew Cooper, and today I am joined by Harry Mansell from the 77 Club.
Thank you for having me on. Being more enthusiastic than last time.
What did you say?
Thanks for having me on.
Oh, that's fine, mate.
Yeah.
And we're joined by Ad.
How
Are you?
I'm good, mate. Yeah.
Would you like to be referred to as Adam or Ad?
Adam.
Adam.
Is
Okay,
fine, yeah.
cool. We've got loads to go through. We've got Wolves versus Brighton, which was a classic. We had Spurs versus Wolves, which is not so much of a classic. We've got Olympiakos on the way. We've even got a quiz that Harry might have a chance of winning this week. We've got some questions, but before we kick on, we've got a message from our sponsor, which is the Pitch Football app. It's a brilliant app which can be downloaded on the App Store or the Android store. You'll also see fan times reaction on there from us, so it'll be me and Dave, and you can reply to our reactions and give us your thoughts. But yeah, predict the teams, the lineups, and how Wolves are going to get on. But it's a really good app. Make sure you download it. So, chaps, Spurs versus Wolves. It was a 6-pointer, wasn't it? And what a performance in that second half. Harry, did you go?
No.
Plastic.
Ad,
did you go?
I did.
Go on, Ad.
Did I? Yeah, no.
I did ask for corporate tickets, but he pied me off. So.
I didn't realise he worked for that.
Ad, what are your thoughts on that?
No, it was a like you said, it was a 6-pointer without doubt, and I was a little bit nervous with how we started. Just thought we looked a bit. I think the team looked a bit sort of nervous. I think they knew how big the game was.
We looked off the pace first half,
a little
for
bit,
sure.
Yeah, a little bit, and they were causing us a few problems. They had a couple of chances early on. I think was it Ali with the overhead? I think was that first half.
Yeah,
when it
straight
at Patricio and Aurier, even though I don't rate him.
He's shite, isn't he?
But that goal,
he rinsed Vinagre.
Yeah, Vinagre was sort of on his heels a little bit.
What were your thoughts on that goal? Because I was watching it in real time and I was like, Vinagre's been caught in two minds there. You've either got to commit and try and win the ball, or do something different, stand him up. I know it was he showed him onto his weaker foot, which is probably the right thing to do. But was it a case of Vinagre caught in two minds, or just a really good goal, or a bit of both?
Yeah, I think. Well, I've only ever played Sunday League, but I used to play right back, and my manager used to always say to me, "Show him down the line, stop the cross, never show him inside." Basics, innit? It's just poor defending, in my opinion. He got ripped, didn't he? He got ripped.
Cheers,
up.
Jeff.
Yeah, cheers. But yeah, I'll start instead of Vinagre next week. No, but first half, he did better second half, Vinagre. I thought he did all right. But first half, they were targeting him. I thought they were going down that right. Both goals come from that side. But he did set up the first, didn't he? So
he did. And I thought he grew into the game. I thought he was absolutely dreadful against Brighton, which we'll come on to, but so is everyone else. But I thought second half, it was just total counter-attacking football, and it was done to perfection. And credit to Nuno, really, because in the first half they were really poor. It was 2-1 going into the second half, wasn't it? And we still managed to get a goal in that first half through Doc again, who's been sensational in the past couple of months, and definitely made me eat my words, because I've slated him so much, and I think I was right to do so. From start of the season up until start of January, he just looked off the pace, off the ball. He looked ill, like he was blowing out his arse. he looked ill. He was blowing out his arse for like 10 minutes. He looked like he pissed up. But yeah, he got the goal, and then going in at 2-1 just before half time was a bit of a sucker punch. So they managed to motivate themselves in the second half, and what a turnaround it was. And how good was Jota?
Oh, brilliant! I mean, at half time, stupidly, I weren't confident we were going to win. But how many times second half have we come back to win games? Like we always do it. Our second half record's unbelievable, and it was great. I mean, we got away on Dele Alli's header. Remember that? I think that was at 2-1. And then obviously great goal. The Adama, when he's bounced, I think it was Aurier coming for the tackle, wasn't it? Bounced off him down the line.
No, it was Tanganga.
Oh, was it Tanganga?
Yeah.
And then I mean, Raul, he didn't have a very good game in my opinion, but he did really well. Well, Jota, obviously, the run. And then you're like, shoot, and he cut in. What a goal.
I was sat with Dave just beyond the Wolves fans, and I saw Jimenez go through, and he went, he don't miss these, and he'd come onto, he took a cutting onto his left. I went, no!
He never used his left.
No.
He never used his
terrible.
left. Yeah.
And he cut into his left. I was like,
oh God.
Sake, and he whacked it top bin.
You know what? I was totally opposite. When he came in on his left, I was like, he's bagged it.
Really?
Yeah. I where I was sat was pretty much right behind him.
Right,
so as soon as he turned in, and was it Tanganga? Was it who just went sliding into?
Oh
the
yeah,
that's
inexperienced.
I was like
on his ass.
I was like, he's in. I knew he was going to back. It was such a brilliant.
That
finish.
first touch though, first or second, the one just before he knocked it inside, that was perfect, because he just gave Tanganga enough hope to try and get there, and it was like, see ya.
Well, like everyone else, he thought he was shooting. So I did. I thought he was going to shoot on his right. So was it mad in the away end?
It was. I think.
It
I
looked
thought the
quite
away end was
Martelli.
poor from the way.
Yeah, I think it was
Really?
a bit. It was weird, especially the first. Doc's goal. People we didn't celebrate. Like we celebrated, obviously, but
Wait for VAR.
I think so. And obviously, I don't really want to talk about
Jota's goal was. I was like, no,
same.
now they're
Yeah.
offside.
I thought he was off.
And so it was like it was celebration, and there were a lot of people around me. They were like, "Hang on, let's just," and I was like,
It's rude, isn't it?
"He just like,
From where we were, like, I was like bang in the middle of the away fans, but just behind, and fans on the left were singing something, and fans on the right were singing something different. And I think it's similar to the Steve Bull for away fans at Molineux. It's hard to generate an atmosphere because you can't. The acoustics are pretty shit for an away fan, and I think that might be done on purpose by Spurs. But the away end was poor.
It was.
I was happy to see the. I mean, a lot of people this week on Twitter, you're going to probably disagree with me, have said that it's Tim Pot and I hate it, but I just think it's a laugh.
It's splitting people. I love it.
Yeah, I think it's alright.
I love that.
I like it.
She's shaking at you.
No. I wasn't there to experience it live, so but literally all the lads who went and they were just all they were talking about was that bloody
song.
tune.
Yeah. There's that. Is it that cat? That video on Twitter with that cat when it's
Oh,
going.
there's a
Wolves
disco
fans
like
when
it.
Espanyol scored. That's just a bit of fun, innit? It won't last, will it? That'll drift away.
I had a bit of a back and forth with someone on Twitter. I was like, look, it's one of these. It's similar to the Poznan with Man City fans.
Yeah.
They went to Poznan and they brought that back, and it was like a bit of a novelty, wasn't it? Because no one else was doing it in the UK. When they turn the back and jump up and down, it's like one of those things you bring back from the European trip.
Some memory in it.
They did that for a season. That was it.
Yeah,
I can't see this lasting until the end of the season, and it's a bit of fun.
They were playing it.
They did play
They played it. I just come back to it at half time, wasn't it? They were playing it over the tunnel.
Yeah,
so.
I'm surprised you remember. Did you know you were driving? But yeah, I don't see a bit of a problem with it. But it was good to see at the end at Spurs. It was getting going, but not so much at Brighton because it was an absolute shower of shit.
It's hard to get anything going at Brighton.
No, but yeah. That was a massive win at Spurs. It really was a 6-pointer, wasn't it? When you look at the landscape of the table and how it's played out against Spurs drawing yesterday against Burnley.
What did you think of Mourinho's comments after the game? He was a bit bitter.
I can't remember what he said, mate.
He was just like, they didn't deserve it, basically. Like, we should have at least got something out of it.
He played it down.
Yeah, but you think back, I think I put it on Twitter, actually. When they beat us last minute at Molineux, he was full of praise for us, wasn't he? As soon as you
He's
beat
not
him,
stupid,
he's
though.
bitter.
I think quite a lot of managers are like that. I feel a lot of Pep's like that as well. When
Definitely.
I am so happy. I am so happy.
he always says, when a team puts 11 men behind the ball and frustrate you like this,
You don't like it, does
he hates it. He really wants teams to go at him, obviously, because the players have got. Jose's comments were bitter.
Yeah, 100%.
Very, very.
So yeah, fantastic win at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Before we move on to Brighton, let's talk about the stadium. Now, obviously, I've experienced it myself. Obviously, you didn't go because you're plastic.
It was good on telly.
Yeah, it's great. It's great on FIFA. It's my stadium. Isn't it?
It's probably got a better atmosphere.
Yeah.
Adam, what did you think?
It's a beautiful stadium, without doubt, probably the best stadium that I've ever been to and probably will go to for a long time. But the atmosphere, like we were talking just before we went live. I think you made that comment last
On air, you said on air last
Boys
week.
on air. Boys on air.
I don't think they realised how big of a game that was, and it was a massive 6-pointer, and that massive wall,
South
stand,
stand,
South stand. It's beautiful to look at,
It
but
looks
it's
good,
just it was quiet. It was really quiet.
Is it? Do you think someone said? I was speaking to my mate about it. Is it because it's like touristy? Do you think there's loads of tourists?
There is, and which is the aim of why they've created
the money in.
for the money.
We get, when I say we, the company that I work for, we get a lot of bookers from like
You work
South.
for Spurs?
Yes, mate. Thank you. Okay, it's like having Dave on the podcast. Go on, have a laugh. Yeah,
Go.
Yeah, we get so many like South Korean bookers and people coming from America and stuff. It's a lot of our nation hospitality is just like tourists. And so
I think
it comes to the territory, though, mate. It's the price of success. If Wolves want to be up there challenging for top 4 and getting Champions League football, then I'm afraid that not everyone's going to be coming from Bilston or Willenhall. You know, you might get some people coming from abroad, but so be it for me. I'd happily take that.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I'd definitely take a shed load more tourists at Molineux, but to try and keep that core fan base and that atmosphere is a must, because
well, we need tourists, because let's be honest, if we do expand, we won't fill it unless we have.
Wolverhampton's a small city considering its status as
so we do need it really, but it's going to annoy people, isn't it? Like people won't like it. A lot of people, including myself, I'm guilty of it, like clinging on to the past. It's hard to let go of it sometimes.
Yeah, support the Villa.
82 FC. But no, just going back to the stadium, it is an absolute. It's massive as well.
It's like the spaceship of Independence Day.
Yeah, it looks weird from outside. I've seen pictures from the outside and look at it.
And it's got a mix of Birmingham New Street as well.
Definitely took inspiration from that.
Definitely,
but just a shame about the atmosphere.
I've seen people putting videos on of the beer. That fascinated me when it comes to the bottle.
We don't have that in corporate.
I do have just a slight story about that. So there was a bloke getting his beer in a pie or whatever it was. Yeah. The pie's in like the box. He's got his pint and he's knocked the magnet underneath the finger and he's just filled the box full of beer.
How does it fill up then? Is it like a magnet in the bottom?
Yeah, so basically at the bottom of this is really great content.
Yeah,
but
proper walls in.
There's a magnet right there, and you literally
this might not make the final.
Carry on. And they literally put it down, pushes the magnet up, and it fills from the bottom. But if you knock it, I don't know if he had something magnetic on his watch or something, but it triggered it. And the beer just went, man, and I was howling. I was literally crying. I'd have been
how much was a pint in there? Was it £4? Because that's how much it is in corporate.
Be a lot, wouldn't it?
No, I don't think it. I think I had 2 Guinness with the old man, and I think it was like a tenner.
It's all right, that. It's probably the cheapest pint I have in London.
Yeah, it's
anyway, that's enough about Spurs. Let's move on to a game that had the hallmarks of an absolute classic, and it duly delivered. It was Wolves versus Brighton. What a shower of shit that was.
I predicted 5-0, so I was close. But
well, you got one right.
Yeah, I got the nil right. But it was just, I think everyone was saying on Twitter before it, like, we always do well away, and then it's always a disappointment in games like this. It's happened so many times. We just can't seem to. Well, the formation come out. We knew Adama would probably be rested because he popped his shoulder. But would you have brought like Neto or someone instead of Dendoncker? I think in hindsight you would, wouldn't you?
I can't.
He was just
fathom playing 3 midfield at home to Brighton.
Got to get a goal.
They were comfortable. Yeah. They were so comfortable. Arguably the better team, because it was a game of just frustration and trying to keep hold of the ball. And the amount of times we relinquished possession to stupid fucking through balls or Raul trying to. He has these games, right? He's a fantastic footballer, but the one thing that I have a criticism of is he has these games where everything he tries is the impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, you know that ball came over and Dan Burn flicked it on. It's like you could have took a touch there, waited for someone to.
No one around him, was there?
What are you doing? Some bloke next to me, some old fellow who's like, oh, he's shit, he's rubbish. Like, he's not though.
There's always one at around.
Yeah, he must have. That
more than one.
He's his dad. But where do we start? What was yesterday? Because I was angry at full time. I wasn't just like, oh, it's a 0-0. I was just angry at the sheer lack of quality and effort. No one was busting the guts. It was toothless.
I was just disappointed. I was, but I weren't surprised at the same time. Like I said, I knew we weren't going to score. 20 minutes into it, I was like, we're not going to score here today. And fair play to Brighton. They did what they needed to do. They're scrapping for survival. But it's just so easy sometimes, isn't it? Just to come and sit back against us. We just find it so hard to break teams down, and we just haven't got an answer for it, have we?
I didn't even think that they sat back that much.
No, they had a lot of the ball, to be fair.
I've not seen a team. Well, that's probably a bit over the top, but I was going to say I've not seen a team keep the ball as well as they did. I thought they kept the ball. They knocked the ball out really well, and it really frustrated us. They were just sucking the life out of us.
He just turned into like a real player against us.
There was some scenes comments in the South Bank when every time Moy was on the ball. But no, I think prior to the game, I was pretty confident he was going to play 3-5-2. Yeah. And it we worked against Norwich. We won 3-0. It wasn't a fabulous game. But it did work against Norwich, and I was, when the lineup came out, I was pretty happy.
Same,
perfectly, to be honest. But now it's easy to look back and go, yeah, we should have played 3 up top.
Well, they came with a game plan. I know Graham Potter, like his name, he's a bit of a tactical magician.
Not really. I'm not giving. I've told you, don't encourage it.
I'll laugh anything.
Cheers, mate. And every time the ball went out wide to Vinagre or Doc, 4 or 5 players went across, and it just stemmed any creativity that we had. And it was like, that's the first time that a team's come to Wolves and just really stopped how we play. Unless like the top teams, when they don't tend to stop how we play, they just play their game and hopefully it's better than ours. Yeah. But that's the first time where I've like, we've been sussed out here. Yeah. We've been completely sussed out. And then the 3-4-3 changed it a little bit, but Dharma's got to start in games like that. Yeah. He has to start. I don't know what the shoulder's saying, but he's got to start in a game like that. You simply can't play 3 in midfield against Brighton at home. You got to take the game to him.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, like you said, I'm not sure about that shoulder, but Dan Burns there for the taking. Like,
I reckon I'd beat him for pace.
Well,
I genuinely would, man.
I've seen that now.
Not with this name, but
I've seen you in that Molineux game, Matt.
Who's your mate here?
We've got him.
Mate, that first touch though. First touch is superb. And I'd not long come back from this knee injury. Yeah. And I had surgery on it. And
you'd have made it pro without that, wouldn't you?
I put it out of my back. That was more main issue. It genuinely was. But that's a story for another podcast.
He set up what should have been a goal. Den Donker. Yeah. He hit the bloody clock on the South Bank, didn't it? He should have scored that.
Dong.
Yeah. He created the chance, and it'd been nice just to nick
great little layoff from Jimenez. So that's a one shot.
That was the chance that I think that there's a few lads around us were saying we just need one chance, and that was the chance. Yeah. Like in the last 5 minutes.
If you wanted that to fall to anyone,
it wasn't Donk, was it?
There's probably 2 other players on the pitch I'd rather it not fall to. Probably Cody or Bolo.
Cody, why not? Patricio?
Even so. Yeah. And then it'd be Dendonka.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was I think it summed it up, didn't it? To be fair. It was they kept the ball really well. They frustrated us. I think Jimenez's reaction on like the 90th minute when he was like really trying to press hard and looked around and everyone's just in their own, and he went absolutely tilt. I don't know if you saw that, but
I'd gone.
I went home and after.
He didn't watch the second half.
I was down the bottom, but watching on the telly.
Did you?
Yeah, I was depressed. Yeah.
I left on like
plastic.
I left after that Dendonka chance.
Well,
did you?
Yeah, I think that was just but Jimenez, he was fuming. He was closing down everything. Turned around and Martino and Dendonka are miles away, and Adama is just like.
It was the distinct lack of effort that pissed me off because look, no one was busting a gut. You know, apart from he said like Jimenez in the last minute, it was easy and it was like a training ground game. And
I think you said off air, didn't you? You thought Doherty was probably our best player, but the only one who could have kind of held his head a little bit high. But
again, they nullified him because of how many players were around him. If we could have found space in other areas of the pitch, One thing as well that I didn't get, and I think it was apparent to everyone in that stadium who's ever watched a game of football, stop playing balls out wide to Doc in the air when he's against someone who's 6'7".
I literally, I couldn't. I was like, what? Like, why are we doing it? I really didn't get it. Like, he was pinging it, and Dendonka was moving over, and even he's not got a chance against Dan Burn. Not a prayer.
They got some big lads at the back, haven't they, Brighton?
Yeah, they
Dunk, Webster, them 3. Apart from that, there's no other big. I know them 3 are massive, but it's
just frustrating.
It was a frustrating game, but you know, I think Twitter yesterday was quite.
I know you're a bit of a happy clapper, aren't you?
I am a happy clapper.
I am as well.
I get you frustrated. Like, I get everyone's frustration, but I was just like, we didn't deserve to win. So if we would have won, we did not deserve it.
I know, but for me, that's not the point. We should have won.
Well, no. Well, but yeah, I mean, you can say that about how many draws we had now this year? 12.
The most in the league.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, people were saying like, I think I only done a match today. Actually, we're only playing like.
You didn't watch it?
Yeah. Stayed up. I didn't. So what was I going to say? Yeah, the 2 top 8 teams we've got left to play, haven't we? So, but everyone was like, "Oh, our running's amazing. We're definitely going to get top 4." But if you know Wolves like we do, we struggle against teams.
I watched match of the day this morning, and it got to Wolves. I turned it off because I couldn't watch it.
Were we last?
Yeah. If there ever was a game not to be shown on match of the day, that would have been it.
There weren't that many classics though yesterday. There was like 1 goal in every other game bar ours and
God, it was
Liverpool.
just so shite.
Yeah.
I just felt angry though, because it's not like, right, it does us unlucky there. Brighton have come and parked the bus like they did last year, anti-football display. But this year a bit more.
We do struggle against Brighton, don't we? I think someone put the record up, didn't they? It's like 0-0, 2-0 loss.
Haven't scored in the last 4 home games against them.
We beat them a few years back, didn't we? But I think it was an own goal. Remember that?
Yeah, that was Goldson, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's a local lad, isn't he?
Yeah, he's from Wolverhampton.
Is he?
Chucking him in for us, yeah.
What a name for it as well.
So,
Laughs at anything in.
even his own stuff.
He just always yeah.
One name, quite. It was. If you could sum up the performance yesterday in one word.
Can you swear?
Well, yeah, if you want. There's just no C-bombs, please.
Boring.
Boring, okay.
Yeah.
Adam?
Sigh.
Who's he?
It's a bloke sitting next to me.
So I was born before you were talking.
No, just frustrating. I think.
It was lacklustre, and
that's two.
it's weird. Lacklustre. I said.
You said and after.
Okay. I don't know. Like, we've had a week off as well, so they look shattered.
You could feel it in the atmosphere in the ground as well, couldn't you? Everyone was just bored. That's why I was down the bottom.
Yeah, I said at half time, I went, this is dreadful. He's like, we get better second half. But I was just like, I was punching my seat, I was effing blinded. I don't know what it was.
Punching your seat?
Did you hit that woman in front of you or at you?
No, not yet. I'm waiting until next season. I was like, because this person in front of me wasn't there, and I was just like banging the seat. I was like, fucking love it.
Actually, just going on that topic of people not being, I noticed there's quite a lot of empty seats yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, obviously just season ticket holders.
The family enclosure was, by me when NL won.
Did Brighton, I couldn't see the away end, did they fill it?
They didn't fill it. They had the quadrant, didn't they?
Top and bottom. But I noticed, like loads of empty, which is strange. I mean,
it said sold out on the website. I was trying to get a couple of tickets from my mum because it was a birthday, but couldn't.
I bet she's happy now, isn't she? She didn't go to that.
She's an Albion fan anyway, so. But she does like the Wolves. So happy birthday, Julie, for yesterday. Brought a lovely Ted Baker purse, by the way. She loved it.
Baller.
Which was not quite. It's off the market, Dan Bescott. So let's move on to a very, very important game on Thursday, which is trip to Greece for Olympiakos. So I won't be going. Harry, probably not asking you. So.
Never going again.
No, why not? Did you enjoy Barca?
Oh, nah.
No.
That's what I'm going to say. You're going, aren't
you? Hang on, can we just go back to the Barca?
I was just peaked too early. Got out there Tuesday.
Standard.
Got really excited Wednesday.
You like a puppy, weren't you?
Yeah, I was just...
There was posts on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat a lot, like every half hour, and then...
Don't remember the games, it was too cool.
And then it was just radio silence for like 12 hours. Like, it's definitely in an alleyway somewhere. I had the foot kicked out of it.
I told you, didn't I, off air? We played football in the square on the Wednesday, kicking the ball everywhere, and I was absolutely volleyed this ball as hard as I could, trying to hit it in the air.
Where the in the feint?
Like the square. Yeah. Spooned it, hit this bloke square in the face, went over, and he got up. He got, who was that? If he'd have got me, I wouldn't be here today. He'd have killed me. He would have just. He was a big lad.
How big was he?
About 6'5", stocky.
Gee, he's nearly as big as me.
He teed himself.
I was ringing Matt. I was like, Matt,
that's right. Where is it? If anyone knows of anyone who got hit in the face in a ball in Barcelona, can you please let us know and identify them? Because we've got someone who'd like to have a chat with you.
It was an accident. He was on my weaker foot, but I've got 10.
His weaker foot.
Got me left leg.
I mean, if it was on me right, and it goes straight in the phone.
If it's on me right foot, his head would have come off. So he's looking.
That's an absolute. That's perfect.
Oh my god.
That's worth it.
That is perfect. That's definitely been clipped for the preview.
God's sake.
Oh, right. So that was Harry's story about clobbering some fella with his weaker foot. Oh god, you make me laugh, mate. Bless you. So yeah, Olympiakos. This Thursday, 8 o'clock our time, isn't it? 10 p.m. local
10
time.
PM, yeah.
When are you going on the Wednesday? Are you?
Yeah, so I'm flying out from Manchester Wednesday morning. Direct flight to Athens. I think it's like 4 hours or so.
Yeah, it's a long flight.
Yeah,
it's a long haul, isn't it?
Quite a long flight. But we got direct flights. As soon as the draw was made on the Friday after Espanyol, I was.
Sky's kind of crashed, didn't it?
I think it pays waiting a couple of days.
Yeah, it goes back
to book
down.
If you've got the window to do so. Obviously with yours you haven't, because you've got to get it booked. We've still got 2 weeks, but I've noticed if you leave it a couple of days or a week, when a demand dies down.
Yeah, a couple of my mates were just talking today actually in the group chat about saying actually I think you can get some direct flights from like Luton for for like $220.
It's not too bad.
today,
Considering it's
so-
long haul as well, it's not a short flight, is it?
No.
But these aren't no pushovers, and it was a draw that I was happy with. I remember watching a draw outside the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona. I've been working on
I'm
that.
familiar with that one. Right, carry on.
Watching on my phone, had a couple of points because Dave had gone to the new camp, and it come on my phone. I was like, yes, get in, and like the waiter come over. He's like, who have you got? I was like, Olympiakos, and he just went. And I went, what? He's like, tough side. I won't do the accent.
Well, they beat
It's
Arsenal,
not
didn't
like
they?
Peter Crouch podcast. It was a tough side, but they drew against Spurs in the Champions League. They've beaten Arsenal over 2 legs. They've, as my notes say, they've won the league 44 times.
Shit league,
And
isn't
it is a shit league, but you know you can only beat what's in front of you. They finished top of the league, going into the Championship rounds. How do you see this one going? You'd be happy to take a 1-0 loss, a 2-0 loss? I think the away goal's pivotal going to come back to Molineux, but would you be happy to have a 1-0 loss, maybe 2-0?
I think. Sorry, mate.
No,
I
go
think.
on.
I think an away goal is definitely huge, providing we don't lose 4 or 5-1.
That's exactly what I was
But,
going to say. Away goal.
But yeah, I think a tie, like what if we lost 1-0, you can't really call it because we don't know what to expect. I did watch them against Arsenal after the Wolves game because I was part timer and watching it from home. And
We've all got work commitments, mate.
we
so,
have, mate. Yeah. Cheers, mate.
That's all right now.
Oh, he's a good lad, actually.
But they were I mean, they're fans. They're going to make some noise, by the way.
Yeah.
I think they took 7,000 or 8,000 to the Emirates. They had the whole bit.
Quite a lot of Greeks live in London though, because we had the same for.
Really?
I'm going to talk about Spurs again, but obviously they played them. We had a lot of bookers from London who were Olympiakos fans. So I know it's not London, but you expect them to.
Oh yeah.
Would they bring 3,000? I don't think they would they? I don't think they'd give them the 3,000.
I'm not sure.
I think they'll just give them the quadruple.
Yeah,
We'll give a minimum.
I
It's
think
easy
so,
to police as
but
well.
they will make some serious because they were hostile, and that just I can't wait to get in that ground on Thursday because I reckon that atmosphere is going to be
mad.
unreal. I think it only holds about 30,000, is it?
Yeah.
The stadium, but that just means it's going to be.
What they give us? 1.6 was it?
1.6,
1.6,
yeah.
yeah.
And as of time of recording, I think it's 1,000 currently, isn't it? That we've
They've sold. So there's around 600. I imagine that number
Yeah.
to have dropped. I think we'll get close to 1,200, maybe 1,300. It's short notice, but I can't sit here and criticise saying it's pretty poor that people aren't going because I'm not going myself.
No, it's quick to like you say. It's just
And
money.
I can't get the time off work, and I want to go to the quarterfinal. Should we get through? And that's the big one for me. I can kind of allow not going to this and watch it. I'm going to the home leg, but who would you play? Would you go 3-4-3, 3-5-2, frustrate them? We just can't have another game like Saturday because I think it'll be the final round. The
Yeah,
conference,
3-4-3 for me. So I just would. I'd play the same team that we played against Spurs. I'd play that team. So Johnny, do we know what if he's going to?
They've not issued a statement on his. I know he's in a protected boot, but
I don't think it looks good, you know.
it looks like
I'm
a
not-
broken leg, doesn't it? Broken foot.
I mean, I saw a photo of the challenge against Norwich, and it was quite a rough one. It studs on the ankle, it's gone really quiet in terms of.
We spoke about it before, but it's weird how they never say anything about injuries. They Nuno won't tell anyone. We found out. Was it an Instagram picture someone put on? Like, with him in the,
Talking Wolves broke the
Yeah,
nose,
right.
obviously. The boys talking shit out of it again. It doesn't look good at all. But if anything, highlighted the game for Brighton. I know we'd moved on, but how poor Vinagre was and how much we missed Johnny. It's hard.
It's defensively.
When you compare the two, it's like chalk and cheese because they're not the same player, and Johnny's a far better player. But Vinagre against Brighton was so poor, and he wanted to keep cutting inside, and he lost his confidence, and he just come back. He needs to be taken out the firing line a little bit. But who'd you play there? He's got to play against Olympiakos.
Yeah.
Unless you play Kilman there.
We've got to play him.
Yeah.
We have to play him because there literally is no one else.
Yeah.
Kilman, I know he's good with his feet. I think he's not a left wing back.
No way. He's not big, and
he's the same as Bennett playing right wing back against Man City. It's going to have to be Vinagre. I think a bit like Traore last year, if he just does the basics, Vinagre, and defends as well as he can going forward, he just needs to do the basics.
I think against Brighton, like you said, he kept coming back inside. Sometimes you just wanted to get the ball bombed down the wing, don't you? But he don't. I think he's so scared of making a mistake because obviously Nuno's there and whatever. And he got I think Martino against Spurs. You see him at one point going mad at him first half. So he's probably a bit nervous, isn't he?
I have seen Martino talk to him a lot throughout the game.
You need to have that.
Young lad to forget that. Sometimes.
Yeah, he is a young lad, but
young lad.
He's a long.
He's only 5'9".
He's no Dan Burn. No, he's I think he sees this. Well, he should be seeing this as his opportunity.
Yeah.
And like you said, I'm not sure if the opportunity is sort of getting to his head a little bit. He's a bit of a one-trick pony with those step overs. We all know what if anyone's if the opposition teams are going to be researching our players, they only need one clip of Vinagre because everyone knows he's just 3 step overs.
He does get a lot of criticism for that, and it is telegraphed, but I think he just does it to try and work an opportunity to get the ball in the box.
Sometimes for me they feel pointless. Yeah. Like you don't need to do so many. They're just looking at him. He's just like,
what's he like?
Please get a close up on that.
But nah, he will become a proper player when he years to come. It's just his positioning.
I don't think he's a left wing back, but I think
do you think he's further forward?
Yeah, I think so.
I can see that.
Bulk up a little bit, get a few more games under his belt, but. So you're saying 3-4-3 for Olympiakos?
I would, yeah. Try and get away goal.
What are you saying?
I'm not I really don't know. I think 3-4-3 would probably be the best, and I would probably give Neto a go. I really would.
I really like Neto.
I think he's a brilliant.
Pedence going back.
Well,
the Pedence derby.
To me, he still loves Olympiakos. He was watching the game after Espanyol on the. I think he put it on his Instagram that he was. It's gonna. I don't know if it's a bit not too close, but. I don't know if I'm looking into it a bit too much.
He's obviously built an affinity with the club, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So I think when you go somewhere like Olympiakos where the fans are so passionate and then you perform well, obviously take a liking to you. You're going to have some kind of affinity still, aren't you? But I don't think that's going to affect his performance if he plays. And I'd like to see him given a bit more of a chance. I really would, because he's one of those players, I saw it, especially against Espanyol. All right, he might not beat his man every time, but he'd never lose the ball. He'd always carry the ball well, and he's tidy. So I'd like to maybe see him in the hole a little bit more rather than out wide.
I noticed how well he pings the ball around. Like he really tries to switch the player, especially against Espanyol now.
He's busy, isn't he? He's a busy player.
I think he just needs a run of games, but
it'll come.
It will come with him. But sort of going back to Olympiakos, he was their signature player.
He was a talisman, wasn't he?
Yeah, all the fans on Twitter and all the social media channels saying good luck, he's done so well and this, that and the other. So I think if we've got their signature player now, there's no reason why we can't. We're not just basing it solely on that, but we've got the better team. Clearly, so it's a poor league, like we've spoken about.
We should be beating them
on paper, but it's gonna. I think the atmosphere is going to play a big part. It's going to be really intense, really hostile. If we defend well over the 2 legs, we've got no problem.
We've coped well, haven't we? Like in the Europa League, going to like Besiktas and places like that. I think the players.
That performance was dreadful as well.
Yeah, but the intimidating atmosphere they do. I was a bit worried how we'd react, but we've got a lot of experienced players, haven't we, in the squad?
I don't think we've played great away from home in Europe at all.
Just grinded out results.
Yeah, Braga, we were poor. Like first half, we were great by the first goal, and then second half we were really poor. Espanyol was a glorified friendly. I know you've
crumbled in Braga.
And who else we got? Besiktas, we were poor. Slovan, we did the job, which is all we've got to do.
Torino was the only they conceded 2 goals late on. It was.
I don't know. We're doing the job away from home because I think bar the Espanyol game, we've won every single game so far this campaign. So I think get an away goal, keep it tight. Win is an absolute bonus because then it really sets itself up. But I would like the game to be in balance for the home leg because I want it to feel like a big game.
Yeah, big.
But it's going to be a struggle because everyone's going to be at work all day. We all know that the atmosphere is better when everyone's full of piss. So it might be, if it's a bit of a dead rubber, it might be a bit of a dull atmosphere, which it really shouldn't be because we're on the brink of the quarters. It's a massive game.
It's definitely going to be a tough test. I think it's West Ham, isn't it, after that on the Sunday?
On the Sunday,
now, they didn't play too badly against Arsenal yesterday. They're fighting for their life. you look at it on, like I said, looking at the running, thinking we've got an easy running. Now that game's approaching, I'm not so sure it's as a dead cert as a win as it was.
Weird. Are we away for that one?
Yeah.
Weirdly, I'm happy about that. So I just think we played better.
I'd rather play them away than that.
Yeah, I feel like I fancy us for that. I do.
I think if yesterday we would have, if we'd have won, we'd be really confident going into it. We've had a bit of a bad performance, but I don't see why we can't go there and beat them.
Well, we always know Thursday, Sunday we perform well. So so hopefully they can do the business. It's a big week. It really is. We've said this a lot, but it is a big week for Wolves, and if we can come out of this with 2 wins, I'd be absolutely over the moon. Even a draw at Olympiakos or a narrow defeat with the away goal and a win at the London Stadium, it would be a very good week. Dave will touch upon the West Ham game in our preview anyway. But one topic I want to talk about on this week's podcast is the resurgence of Diogo Jota. Now, it's been nothing short of miraculous. The past 3-4 games, say month for argument's sake, how he's turned it around. Now, last season, we had similar kind of performances where the first 3 months of the season, you think he just needs to get him out of there. He's playing very poorly, and then it was at the turn of the year. It was January, wasn't it, against Chelsea or December, and it was our best player from then till the end of the season. Now it's taken him a little bit longer this season to kind of find his shooting boots, where he has in Europe, but not in the league. But I mean, he's got 9 in Europa League this season, including the qualifiers. He's got 6 in his last 4. But before that, he only had 3 in the league against Palace and 2 at Brighton. So what is the secret with Jota? Is it confidence? Because when he's on his games, he's one of the best players in the league.
Yeah, it's crazy, really. If you could do it for our whole season,
he wouldn't be at Wolves.
I know.
He'd be at Real Madrid or Barcelona.
He's frightening.
But because it's weird that spell when he couldn't score, he'd like take the extra touch and things like that. But now, God, we was on about it, weren't we? Off air. But he just bounces off people, don't he? He runs through and he's lethal. And
strong as an ox.
What a player! Like he's been obviously he didn't have the best game against Brighton, no one did, but incredible to watch, and he's so important. He is on his day. He's probably our best player.
Without doubt.
He's the most effective in terms of goal getting as well, because obviously Adama is by far and large our most effective at what he does. Yeah. But if you look at his return on goals and assists, he got like 10 or 11, so superb. But you look at Jota, like 6 in his last 4. He scored 3 against Besiktas, 2 against Brighton. Like his goal getting.
He's always there for tap-ins and things like that. He loves that. He's always in the box.
And he commits players and he gets in those half spaces between midfield and defence. You see when he breaks, it's like we're like getting the team, like the defence of their team's like shit. Yeah. And he just commits players and he makes people lunge in. He gets a lot of bookings and he's just. I just hope he can keep this up. He was quiet against Brighton, but if he can keep this up the rest of the season, there's no reason why we can't push on and have a really successful season. But it's frustrating that he can't do it from the start of the season. I know he's had a couple of injuries and stuff. But
yeah, I was going to mention that. I think the injuries this year have actually played probably more of a role than we think. He was same as last year. He was slow start.
Stupidly, like I wanted Neto to stay in the team. He only got injured and he come back. Yeah. I was one of the people saying, "Oh, come on, it's a bit harsh to drop Neto," but how wrong was I? Because he's been incredible.
Jota's defensive contribution's a lot better than Neto's as well, and that's only because he's been playing the system for 3 years now. Yeah, he's obviously better as a 2 rather than a 3, but he's pressing and his tracking's a lot better, and him and Johnny link up well.
I think they do link up. I've seen a few people say that they don't link up.
No, I think they do.
But I think they do. But I think it definitely sort of thrives in. He definitely
Jota.
Cheers, mate. Centrally, I'd love to see him in the 10 with like.
Do you think
what was Prime Minister?
Yeah,
I know.
He's got it.
Yeah, it took me a while. But we was on about a minute ago. We was on that formation. Yeah. Jota for me in the 3-5-2 when he's just him and Jimenez up top. Better for me. I think he's always involved more.
It's definitely him. Like when he's up top, like you said with Jimenez. But I could like see him. I'd noticed when I think it was at Tottenham when like the run for the 3rd goal. Yeah. He's took it out. He's central. He's in between the lines of the defence and the midfield of Spurs' midfield. That's where he punishes teams. So I would love to see him in that 10, maybe behind like Jimenez and Neto, or Jimenez and Adama maybe.
Sometimes the only thing that's lacking is he's like the weight of his like final ball. Sometimes it's just, I don't know, it's a little bit wanting, which is the only thing that puts me off about him in the 10. But that pass for Jimenez for his at Tottenham, that was inch perfect because he could come into his stride. Where I was, I thought that's a decent pass, and I watched it back on the screen. I was like, wow, that's superb. Yeah. But it's frustrating, but when he's like this, he's an absolute joy to watch. He's more of I find him, and I love Adama, and everyone knows that, but I find watching Jota play when he's like this, I find it more entertaining than Adama. If only we could play a 3 where both of them play superb, because it's either one or the other, isn't it?
It is a bit, yeah. I think one of them gets nullified by the opposition, and then that obviously frees up the other players. So to get them both on song would be quite difficult. But if we did, we'd win teams.
Did you see about Jimenez baby reveal? Have you seen the video when?
Absolutely,
he's there when he Jota.
Yeah, because he had like a pink shirt on, didn't a jumper, and then he took it off because it was a boy. But that wasn't the only baby news we've had this week, is it, Harry?
No, yeah.
Harry's gonna be a dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's.
Did you want to reveal that or not?
No, I don't mind.
I'm not even asked about it.
I'm not having the baby myself, obviously.
That's great.
That's
reassuring.
Yeah.
It's my partner Steve.
I'm going to Molineux. I'm going to kick the.
You'll be there all fucking day.
Not on his weaker foot.
I mean, if we could get like a target on some 6'5" shit-ass face, he might be finding out straight away. But that is fantastic news. Can Talking Wolves do the baby reveal?
Yeah.
The gender reveal.
Well, you'll see next season.
We know it's a baby, not a baby.
The baby reveal.
I'll turn up to Molineux next season. I'll have one of them harness things on. You'll see me walking in with a baby.
Like that, so you still hold your points. That's what.
Manage on his head.
His.
Is that?
Yeah, now we don't know.
Is that what you're hoping for?
Yeah. I don't mind, as long as it's a baby.
Moving on. Moving on, and this is going to be comedy gold. We've got a quiz. Now, 5 questions each. We have a tiebreaker. There was some dispute last time about who won. Apparently you won with who got it close.
Well, that stands a chance. I usually do win, so...
Yeah, so, let's put your money where your mouth is. So, who'd like to go first? Adam?
Me. I'm up for it, yeah.
Okay, so who was the last Brazilian to play for Wolves?
Leo Bonatini.
Correct.
Wow.
Oh, he's on the ropes already.
I wouldn't have got that.
Harry.
Yes.
Who did Wolves' first league win come against this season? I was shocked how late it came. I was looking through the fixtures when I'm putting this podcast
I'm going to go for Watford.
It's 1-1. It's 1-1. He's pulled level.
Wow.
Who scored for Wolves on that day?
Wow, that's odd.
There's 2 goal scorers. I'll have either or.
Oh, I got it. Yeah.
Was it Doherty?
Oh, it was.
Neto Cross.
Was it the kissing? No, that was the 1-1.
That was Daryl Yam. That was the other one. He's an own goal, wasn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. So, 2-1 ad. Harry?
Yes.
What was the aggregate score for Wolves versus Crusaders? It's a great question.
It is a great question.
6-1.
Oh, he's pulled it out the back.
100%.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
This is captivating view, and I hope you're all enjoying it as much as I am. When did Wolves last win the League Cup? It's been... Oh, no. It's been, I was going to say, so many years.
I think I know it.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's all right. You got to answer it.
I got a Scooby. What year?
Yeah.
And the month.
Yeah, and the day and the time of lifting the trophy.
Oh man, I ain't got a clue. I'll go for 86.
1980.
I was going to say, I don't know that. Yeah.
Do you? Well, who did they beat then? That's your question.
Forest.
Oh, he's done it,
Mate.
He's done it.
He's
Is that 3-2 now?
Andy Gray scored.
All right, mate.
Is that sure he hasn't been researching this?
He must have had a sneaky look
Nah,
at that.
My dad won't going on about it, so I know about it.
Is that 3-2 to you now?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like Spurs.
Adam. Yes, he's like Spurs. Adam. Who did Wolves sign from Arsenal on loan in 2006? Your clue is he was a striker. This is another great question, if I do say so myself.
Boom.
Dunno. Can't remember.
Can I guess?
I'm not.
Ali Adier.
Is Jeremy Eliadi there?
Ali Adier. He was shy.
So it remains 3-2. Harry, you can make it 4-2 here and win it. And you can win it here.
100% as well. I don't mind losing to 100%, mate.
Who did Wolves sign from Chelsea on loan in 2002? He was also a striker.
Carlton Cole.
You've seen this, haven't you?
No.
Mate,
Carlton
That
Cole.
was just a guess.
I remember
Carlton Cole.
Don't invite me again. It's just absolutely bored me off.
I had to think of the year.
4-2. Yeah, 4-2 going into the last two questions. I had a bit of pride here. How many points did Wolves get last season?
I know this as well.
Mate, you want to...
Nah, I think I could guess. Rough ballpark.
58?
Oh,
It's 57, isn't it?
Oh!
It's 50 I was going to say 57.
Unlucky, mate. Harry, for all five, this is amazing from you. You've really impressed me. Who was Wolves' top goal scorer in the league last season? How many goals did he score?
It's got to be Jimenez.
It was. And how many did he get?
14.
Oh, it was 13.
I was going
You
to
knew
say
that.
14.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I was going to say 14 myself.
So it finishes 4-2.
Mate, it's a blinder.
Congrats, I suppose.
Played
Yeah.
him.
Thank you.
He's thrilled.
Yeah.
Do you want to know the tiebreak? Do you want to know the tiebreak
Yeah,
question?
go on.
Yeah, go on.
Go on.
Capacity of the North Bank.
Don't sit there, mate. So...
Oh, we're doing until about 85 minutes.
9,000?
How many?
9,000?
What's yours?
I'm away off that.
Not way off, but
I'd say 9-6.
oh god,
Like 12.
7798.
Oh
Isn't
my
it?
God.
Yeah.
More.
No, it's not that big to be fair. It's not exactly the whole 10, is it?
In the sky.
Whole 10 is in the sky. Right then, we've got some questions from the Twitter corner. I'll have a quick look at them now, see which ones are worth reading out. Just talk amongst yourselves, please, chaps. I'm just sort of...
I'm
You're
fuming
right, mate.
about quiz, mate. I'm back. After
Nah,
listening,
that was,
after listening to the last pod, I was thinking, Jelly Van Damme, I've got this bloke.
I've just got lucky, I think. Just one of them, innit? It's like Slumdog Millionaire. If you know the answer, you know the answer.
It is, okay, we've got a question from Dave Azzopardi.
Who's that?
Who?
Friend of the friend of the show. Is the golden straw at Brighton, the golden straw with Brighton, sorry, one of the worst games of football you've seen at Molineux?
It's not the worst.
No.
Stoke, New Year. I think it was New Year's Day against Stoke, 0-0 in the Prem, and Rory Delap just kept throwing it.
I love Rory Delap.
That's all I remember from it.
Perler of a throw that wasn't it?
I love that kind of football, man.
Oh,
That's what we miss with Benner.
Mick McCarthy.
Mick McCarthy.
No. Poorest this season, maybe.
Yeah.
But no, not poorest ever. God, no. Come on, let's think. There's loads.
And a question from Liam Bagnall. Realistically, where do you see us finishing in the table and why?
I think where we are now, 5th.
Wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, I think that's where we'll finish. Hopefully that means Champions League as well,
And why?
because we're there now.
Good answer.
Nah, I just think we will. Look at our running. I know we mentioned earlier, only 2 top 8 teams to play. I think we can do it. We'll grind them out, won't we? We'll grind out the results when we need them.
I think if we, like I said earlier, if we'd have won yesterday, we'd be going 4th.
Yeah,
you know,
so,
or whatever.
yeah.
So, but I think personally, I reckon about 6th or 7th. I'm not sure. I think I can see team. I mean, I don't know what the Chelsea score is, but I can see them picking because they've been poor for months.
Yeah.
I can see them picking up.
Yeah.
Sheffield United keep bloody winning.
Oh, it's mad,
Oh,
isn't it?
God, I've just seen the Chelsea score.
What?
It's 4-0.
Wow.
You're joking.
No, I'm not.
Is it really?
It's 4-0, yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
well,
this,
there you
is,
go.
this,
then.
this isn't great for like people listening
Yeah.
tomorrow when it goes live, but it could be 5-4 Everton. By the time I listen to it.
That's a pearl. I told you should have put it on there.
Another question from Andrew Willis. Said, morning boys. It seems to have frailties when we played the lower teams. Yesterday showed no intensity and the passing was shocking. It seems we're not great after no midweek match. What do you reckon this is?
I don't think there's any relation to that personally. I think last year we were really poor against the bottom 6 or 7.
Yeah.
This year we haven't been as bad. We beat the current bottom 3. We beat them all at home. We took points off Norwich. We took 6 points off Norwich. We haven't been as bad as what we were last year, but still not good enough. But I think because you see us beat teams like Tottenham, Man City done the double over, we look at, why are we not beating Brighton? But that's just...
I think it's a bit of everything, like, because we turn up as fans as well, just thinking we're going to win. So that affects the atmosphere.
That expectation.
Yeah, I think just psychologically in the players' heads, they just think we just got to turn up.
5-0 that you predicted.
Yeah.
You know,
So
well, it's true.
it's just,
right,
that's
isn't it?
why,
So,
I guess. It's just hard to find that gear in it just to beat them.
It's not in Birmingham.
How do you even think about that? On the
Habits,
mind.
yeah. Question from Joshua Ellis: is Dendoncker actually good or no? I think he's shit.
Is that what you think, or?
That's the question.
Oh, right, okay.
He's just giving
You don't like it here. I think he's good. He is good, but I can understand why people get a bit frustrated with him. Probably better in defence, to be honest.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I prefer him at the right centre back role personally, and I don't think, just going slightly off topic, but I don't think Bolly's playing as well.
The past couple of games, he's been
He's
pissed.
dodgy. I think someone on Twitter said yesterday that his positioning is like weird, and he always tries to sell the striker, and he's kind of it's weird because he's a right footer, so right centre back is ideal, but I think him left centre back and Dendoncker right centre back, I think that would work.
Slice has been playing well though, so you can't.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
A couple more questions, conscious of the time. Tom Williams, is Vinagre falling into the same category as Morgan Gibbs-White? Needs game time, or he will never develop.
That is some serious. That is some serious shots.
That is tasty question.
We are not talking about Morgan Gibbs because no, he's not. He's not in that category. Morgan Gibbs-White is his attitude ruins the his performance on the pitch are not good enough in the first place. Yeah. Vinagre hasn't got that cock. He does his step overs, but he isn't trying to do fancy flicks everywhere. He's 19, which I think is the same age as Morgan 20, is it?
I think Vinagre might be a little bit older.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
But there's mumps in it.
No, I think no. Me personally, I don't know what you think, but
absolutely.
Morgan Gibbs-White is a myth in my eyes.
Question from me.
Go
on. Pizza, right? Hear me out. You got 3 toppings. What are they?
I don't eat pizza, so...
What?
Yeah, I'm just not a fan.
You get out of it.
I'm not a fan
What
of
do you
pizza.
mean you're not a fan?
I think I've had about 6 pizzas in my life.
It's that door.
But I have the brown little things, the pepperoni. I have them on it.
Has he actually just said that? He hasn't just said that.
Pepperoni?
That's what I have on top if I've ever had one, yeah.
Okay.
Man, I'm fuming with that. Is it not only has
I'm
he
not a fan of cheese,
me in of what?
I'm not a fan of cheese.
Ad's fuming it.
I've only just met into that and I'm absolutely raging at him.
We'll have to settle it after a point.
Yeah, you take this question then.
Cheese is not a topping.
No, cheese is just mandatory.
100% pepperoni. It has to be.
Yeah, I agree. At least you found some.
Hang on, where are we ordering it from? Though?
Anywhere you want, mate. This is like you death row meal for pizza.
Pizza Hut's
meatballs
these days.
Okay.
And peppers.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, you've got to have a bit of greens in there.
Mine is really left field, and
if there's pineapple again, I'm leaving.
I swear by it.
No
pineapple.
I swear, pepperoni.
No.
Jalapenos.
Good.
And pineapple.
That's a disgrace. Actually, hang on.
No, try it.
Sweet and the spice.
It's amazing.
I do.
It is absolutely amazing.
I like jalapenos with nachos.
Yeah, okay. They're similar to pizza. Right now, you may have seen a few technical difficulties with the video. The audio's still there, so I apologise for that. But as we finished, the news broke that Wolves' tie with Olympiakos in Greece set to be played behind closed doors. And obviously, you booked your flights. How do you feel? As being selfish, I think it's great for Wolves because we're going to have the advantage of it being played behind closed doors with none of their supporters.
Yeah, that is a huge, and that is the bigger picture, I suppose. And obviously, everyone's safety, this, that, and the other.
You've got a right to be selfish for this, though, because I'd be pissed off.
I am fuming. I am really am fuming. I've been looking forward. Well, I only booked it the other week, but I've just spoke to the old man as well, and he's not happy. But look, nothing we can do. I'm not going to talk about the coronavirus because I think it's a load of shite anyway. Yeah. But I'm just gutted personally.
What are you going to do now? You're just going to
watch
the pub over
you got to still go, ain't we?
Yeah,
you've got to still go.
You booked it off and stuff.
I know exactly.
Paid for it.
I don't think
you won't get any money back.
Won't get any money back, so we might as well just go.
Unless they stop you from flying there, which they're not going to.
No, they shouldn't. We've literally just heard the news. But
was that in the back of your mind when you booked it? Or did you think coronavirus and that?
No, well, obviously, but not to the point where I thought, it's going to be played. Yeah, like I was more worried, probably like you saying the flights, but that's all fine. But yeah, fuming.
It's disappointing for you, but I think Wolves would get an advantage there. But that's it for this week's podcast, Harry. Ad, thanks for coming on.
Cheers,
Big thanks to our sponsor, Pitch Football app. Go onto the App Store and download that. You'll see our fan times reaction. Probably now going to be about the Olympiakos game and the news that's just broke. So make sure you go onto there and download that. It's a brilliant app. Harry, where can people find you should they wish?
At Harry_Mansell on Twitter and Instagram, and then just Harry Mansell.
Ad, where can people find you? I know you're on private. But...
Just at Sidaway _ on Twitter.
Yep, and M Cooper writes in written, Twitter, Instagram, at Talking Wolves over all socials. If you're new here, make sure you like and subscribe. If you're not new here, make sure you like and leave your comments in the section down below. And yeah, see you all very soon.